Morning traders, let's talk about Tesla in this video. As you guys know, and if you've been following my Tesla analysis, we've been tracking to pretty much every area that I have identified so far. As I mentioned even yesterday, the most recent price action in Tesla was mostly an inside bar, so to speak, inside bar if you take into account the last 2 days. This is a daily chart. And what has happened is that, as usual, the 610 edge has held strongly for a significant bounce up here, although there is a little bit of a trend line developing now, and that's a nice little, fixed area of resistance as the monthly view up tends to catch up with the price. I'm assuming that this is where, as I have been saying, this is where it is expected to balance, um, right in this area around 710. But given the continued weakness in the NQ, we are finding that Tesla wants to come back and test the 610 edge again. So I believe that the first test would remain 650 area, and then the real test again comes back into the 615, 610 area. If we see any further downside weakness, any further weakness in NQ, then we find Tesla coming to test the midpoint of this channel, the 578 area. So initially I had steps 1, 2, and 3 outlined. Those steps have now been completed and we are kind of balancing as I had projected. But I feel like if we are to continue to see downward moves, then we need to have some new steps in place to trade Tesla correctly. For me, the first step then becomes test of this edge again, the 610 area, and then one more, and as a final hard stop, I'm going to call it a stop actually. We don't want the price going any further below. Stop would be this area for sure, guys. This edge right here, there is some uncompleted auction here which worries me a little bit, but this area has to be our stop potentially, because we really cannot expect Tesla to be back in the 400 HV, and although that remains the largest volume for sure, that can happen too. But I think this area is the life or death for Tesla traders, and that would represent significant value for everything Tesla has been up to. Think about it: cars, energy, all the other tech that Tesla introduced to this world. All of that is at this large a discount at our stop level right over here. Think about it, guys. That is significant, right? It is a huge, huge, huge buy opportunity, add opportunity to existing positions, what have you. But for us, for me right now, this thin print area got filled 737. We got a fill on the 697 area. Excellent. We are getting a secondary test of this edge again, the 650, 660 edge again, right? If there is continued weakness in NQ, I'll repeat. Step one remains the 610, 615 test. Must buy some Tesla here. Must buy. If it falls through, I don't think we should be worried. I feel like this area will serve as a stop. Now, if you're buying and holding, you are never worried. I totally get it. If you're doing weekly options, you cannot buy in the middle here. You cannot buy in the middle. You have to wait for the steps to complete and the market to reject those levels, and then you enter your weeklies or whatever instruments you trade on Tesla. Okay. Now, in terms of Fibonacci retracements, I did want to take this opportunity. It's kind of hard to draw a Fibonacci retracement in Tesla. Should I pick this low, that low? What should I do? Normally, what I will do is I will just take this top here. I'll come back over here and try to connect it with like a decent breakout here or an edge. So I'm going to treat this edge here, 507 as my marker. I haven't done this before, so whoa, I don't know exactly how this plays out. Let's just see if we find some confluence by accident. So being 900 as the top, excellent. We are at the 50% level. This is great. The area of balance I've identified is at the 50% level. Also happens to correspond with 700. From that area, we find that if I just add maybe a 78.2 as well here, 78.6 and 38.2 level, then this 78.6 extension retracement is the 592 level. Okay, that is very close to step one. Again, depends on how I choose this base, but yeah, guys, that's one way to trace do the retracements, or we can just go the low here, in which case of course we get more heart pounding moves, I guess. We have a 38.2 retracement right now, which is where the price is, or rather has tested and has kind of snuck in below. 50 becomes the 640 area, really close to our edge. Doing fib retracements, we find that the 78 becomes the 490 area, which I feel is below our stop, and price should not get there. But never say never, right? Anything can happen. However, we already are at a huge discount. So I feel like the tri-modal I'm looking for, mode number one being the 840 area, which is still very thin. Mode number two being 640 area, right? This second one, the third mode is right over here, 430, then big picture. I'm looking for a balance in this zone for further move up. So that's my forecast for Tesla. Uh, I did. Let's switch over, if we may, to the daily, to the intraday. I just want to like talk about another weekly trade that I did yesterday. So that one was not really a very successful trade. I It was because essentially this low that I marked as the low of the day um, coincided with the 930 low of NQ, which was what, again, let's just go back over there into the NQ chart that I have just to pick out. Yeah, it coincided with 12807. Um, Obviously, NQ didn't stop there, right? NQ continued to actually NQ came back up and then fell back through to the 12768 area. So I couldn't really buy a call anyway here, right? Nowhere, because it was falling. I was respecting this trend line right here. But as soon as I found that NQ has found support, I entered a weekly and then I exited right here. So I didn't make much. That was simply because of weaknesses in Tesla. And that's fine, guys. That happens. Um, so not a failed trade in the sense that we didn't lose anything, but we didn't make any big money either, because we are obviously now used to making some good chunk of change with weeklies, right? So you can expect. I was expecting this one to at least travel up to the moving averages, but that didn't happen. But that's okay. That was a summary of my weekly trade, not so successful one. I could have held it on for a Friday hold, but I was not really happy about this move. And the fact that there was significant buffer left over here and a rejection like this, I did not appreciate that. The Tesla is really intent and keen on trying to test this area again, the 650 and then 620 area again. So I didn't want to take a chance into Friday. So that's my summary of the intraday trading option, guys. So that's Tesla for you. Thank you so much. Please do like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.